Talking with someone with a different perspective than you can be a tough experience. Emotions might get mixed up the way, the discussion can become personal, and you can end up fighting with that other person and damaging your relationships over an argument. But it doesn't have to be this way. In fact, diversity of perspectives allows us to create holistic solutions, and empathy can help us address inequalities that exist because of our differences. From understanding our friends to creating policies for the common good, we can benefit from engaging difference.
We've prepared a guide for engaging difference so you can have a conversation with people who have perspectives different than you to better understand where they are coming from. These are based on our own experiences in interviewing people who we consider as our polar opposites when it comes to our view of politics. We've split these guides into 3 categories: getting to a conversation, having a conversation, and developing your inner game. Let's start. In getting to a conversation, it all starts with a right mindset. My classmate Jo didn't want to ask her friends about politics because she didn't want to have a preconceived bias whenever they would start a conversation in the future. Because of this, Jo might just be missing an opportunity to get to know her friends more. Whether you are going to initiate a conversation with your friends or with strangers, you have to keep in mind that all of us are different. We were raised by different parents, grew up in different communities, taught by different teachers, and read different books. These are just some of the things that shape our thinking on certain topics. Do not let difference hinder you from knowing the story of another person. Instead of thinking to yourself that you're afraid to know the real side of your friend, why not try to think that, as a friend, it would be good to know the other side of your friend? All sides are real sides. To keep a right mindset, always remember that your friends, like strangers, are as whole as you, and all their perspectives are as valuable as yours. In having a conversation, do not put them on defense.
Or don't put them on the other side of the fence. You get it? Alright, I should.
In one interview, my initial thought was that the interview would go smoothly because I love interacting with people. But I had a hard time because this conversation is different, as it requires you to hear opinions or arguments that you do not agree with. This is why I had to consistently remind myself that I need to be cautious of the questions that I will ask the interviewees. It occurred to me that one wrong question might cause a domino effect. It can turn the conversation to confrontation, which is something I want to avoid. The good thing is, this domino effect can be prevented and addressed. You have the power to create a safe environment for you and the person you're talking to. Ask questions that will not lead the other person to a defense mode. Do this. Be genuinely curious to know the deeper reasons behind the person's perspectives. For example, if the topic is politics, instead of asking, "Why do you support this politician?" why not start with, "What were your thoughts on the last election?" This gives the other person a chance to share personal thoughts and beliefs that might have contributed to his or her preference in politics. This can jumpstart a conversation without assuming something or offending someone's choices.
And finally, in developing your inner game, remember to keep your cool in all senses. When I was conducting interviews through video calls, I made sure I was conscious of my facial expressions, since I have been told by my friends that how my face reacts speaks so loudly of my inner emotion. So, when I conducted the interview through a phone call, I would not mind making facial expressions and rolling my eyes, since I knew people weren't watching. But I noticed that not controlling my facial expressions deliberately affect my emotions as well, which also affected the tone of my voice and the way I was asking questions in the interview. It was all connected. Keeping your emotions controlled goes beyond hiding them visually from your face. It requires you to stay cool in all senses and stay focused on understanding where that person's coming from. These are a few advices that we've managed to put in this video, but they are definitely not exhaustive. There are so many other helpful tips and tricks out there, and we are sure that you also know a few that can help others engage difference. So reach out at the link below and send us your tips. We will make a follow-up video featuring your tips, containing the 3 most insightful ones you sent us. Also, don't forget to drop us a line in the comment section below So let us know what you thought about these tips, the video in general, or whatever you feel like sharing with us. We'd love to hear from you and your experiences around this topic. Also, check out these other projects from our classmates in the video description. They feature other cool approaches to engage with difference. Engaging with difference can be tough, but we hope these tips help you to master the art of interviewing people with different opinions and connect with them to understand where they're coming from. See you next time!